Hey, what's this? It's show and tell. Yes, it is time. We are ready. First of all, I want to say hey to everyone over in the Discord chat. And if you are wondering how to come onto this show and tell, where you show stuff and talk about it, and maybe I ask questions or people in the chat ask questions, you can find out all about that either by going to the Adafruit website to the blog section, or head on over to our Discord, which is at adafruit.it/discord. And if you scroll up a little bit, we'll show you a little link where you can come on into our StreamYard. And if it seems like it's full, if it's telling you you can't come on and we still have time, people will drop out after they go and I will bring on new guests. So we've got about 29 minutes left. Let's get through this, and then there's going to be an Ask an Engineer right afterwards, and I don't want to go long, so a couple minutes per project, and we'll get going. So first off, I'm going to bring on our good friend, Jay. Hey, Jay. How's it going today?
Good, good. I just want to show off I've mastered the Jay.Osci-bots, which I made and put it on my head. But yay, these guys are done, and they're ready, and they're moving and grooving.
Oh, those are cool. I'm going to have you go full screen.
Oh yeah, so I made more of them, and I actually made sure to write everything down and document them very well for other people can make them. So I'm going to be hopefully soon releasing these guys on a fun thing with DigiKey soon. So look out for that.
That is excellent. And those are, tell me, what's the primary guts of it? What do you have thinking and being a brain in there, as well as driving motors?
It's mostly a 3D print project, but it's just a single servo and an Adafruit trinket. So it's super lightweight.
Right. Okay.
9.2 ounces, I believe.
Uh-huh.
I weighed like the other day. But yeah, super light for you to wear on your head. So you can sit there and just chill out and be a fun Halloween thing, or just for kicks and giggles like I do.
That's fun. And you've been refining this design and other shoulder bot friend companion designs for a few years now. How many revisions do you think, major revisions of this, are we into for the one you're going to release?
This one is technically Aussie V11. So over the past 3 years, I've made 11 different versions of the spider, not including the paradox versions, which technically mean about 17 different versions altogether.
Oh, wow. That's terrific. Really cool. Well, thanks for showing it to us, and let us know when those are out as a guide. And
of course, I'll definitely share it and make sure I post it on Twitter and on my social medias. That way people can find it and make their own versions, and it'll be awesome. I can't wait. I hope you guys share with me.
Yeah, we'll definitely share that once you get that link up. Thanks, Jay. Good to see you.
Yeah.
All right. Next up, we've got Noe. Hey, Noe, how's it going?
Hey, what's up, folks? So this week we got our little IS31FL3741 LED matrix. And this is a collab project with Liz Clark and Phil B. So I made a little case for the thing. So this is kind of what it looks like outside of the case. I got this little PCB bracket, and this kind of makes it so you can kind of put any feather. So this is the FeatherRP2040. But in this project, we're using the FeatherSense an RF5240 because it has the PDM microphone built in. And it's a snap fit kind of thing. You can attach it to other things too if you just want to print the bracket. And I also have this little button pusher for hitting the reset. And real quickly, I want to switch the demo code. So this is from Liz. She ported this from the water spectrum analyzer from the Microlab library from Jeff. And then this one is Phil B's. It's still in development, but here it is, kind of pre-release. So it's got a different effect to it. And it's got more rainbows. But yeah, this is a really fun one. So if folks want to build an audio reactive LED matrix, cute sized, you can do that with the FeatherSense.
Love it.
Yeah, so check
that
one out.
And that one is frequency analysis, so it'll do high pitch, low pitch, middle, a FFT kind of range of what it's hearing. It's not just a loud or not loud, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you'll have to check the Learn Guide and take a look and see exactly how it's going on.
We'll have to whistle at it and beatbox at it and see what happens.
Yes, I will. I've actually been having this with my Pico MIDI fighter, so I've been having that kind of as a little background.
I saw you drumming, doing some drumming, finger drumming, and saw it was next to it as your finger drumming companion. Very cool.
Yeah, it's very fun. So
check
it out. We got the Learn Guide out there. So
awesome. Thanks for sharing that. Take care.
Thanks. You too.
All right, so let's see. Next up is, he was just name checked. It's everybody's favorite dragon, Paint Your Dragon.
Oh my
Hey, Phil.
goodness! Hi.
Hi.
Live demos.
Yeah. Everyone's
I think I
favorite.
just found bugs in my project. But
Oh, no.
anyway, you know, Lamore just designed these shuttershade LED glasses, and the driver board has Bluetooth on it. So I've been trying to use the Bluetooth Connect app so that I can send messages, you know, scrolly messages,
Yep.
and change the color on the glasses. And it was working here.
Did it?
You know,
You changed color.
like it worked perfectly right until the moment you said, "Hey, you're live." So I can change the color, yeah, but something's gone wacky with the message. But anyway, that's a work in progress. But at some point, we'll have a guide and a few projects to go with
really fun. Yeah, that's looking good. And I just got a set of those and put them on, and it really works so well to have those. You did some experimentation, right, with different cutout shapes, and didn't you? And having like just these horizontal lines seems to be the easiest to look through and still have a lot of surface.
Yeah, we originally thought like a spider web motif would be cool, but having all those lines crossing your vision, it was really problematic. But just the whatever 90s style shutter shades, it worked really well. So that's what we were.
Yeah, and you always hear things about how like our range of vision is sort of almost nearly the same as a 16:9 letterbox. Like our peripheral is way wide compared to us vertically. So it probably makes some sense that having nice wide slits in this makes us feel less like falling over and throwing up than if you had vertical ones.
Look through, you know, an entire slit. Or down, and it kind of works.
I love it. It says dragon. Now I know who I'm talking to.
Yeah. For the moment, it's working. But
yeah, you're really cool. Love it. Thanks for bringing those on, and I can't wait to play with that. All right. Let's see. Who else have we got here ready to go? I think it is everyone's favorite Scott, who's raising his hand. Newt. Hi.
Hello.
I saw your little Scott down there in the thumbnail. You went.
I know. I thumbed up. I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. So I have been diving deep into the Raspberry Pi, as folks who watched my deep dive have seen. But I got an OSSPark board back that I made, and it's a unofficial Pi Hat or whatever the unofficial ones are called. But basically, it's wiring it up so that it's easy to debug either with a JTAG or an SWD shaped plug. So that's really awesome. And then I just have a spot for 4 LEDs here at the bottom, and the signals are broken out as well. So if you just need to like see if an LED blinks and what the signal is doing, you can monitor that as a way to debug. Then at the top, we have this UART output here. So it's the same pinout as like a USB to UART converter. So you can just plug the converter straight in. And then I have a StemmaQT port up there as well on the I2C lines. So I'll show you what it looks like because I just put it together, and it does. I didn't quite test everything, but here's my CM4 IO board, and then I can show you that my beautiful soldering there with the different color LEDs and the resistors for that. When I was talking with Lamore, she's like, you know, make sure that you can hand solder it because we won't assemble it, but we could sell it as a bare board potentially. So,
oh, nice.
If folks want this, I'm happy to share the OSSPark link as well, and point you to where to get all the parts. It's really pretty straightforward, and I soldered this is like the stacking header for the Pi, which is cool in theory, but like getting this inner row, I had already soldered this JTAG.
Oh yeah, you're gonna melt that thing too.
I did. You probably can't see it. I definitely like bumped it a little bit. I think I would do it in the reverse order next time. But you know, generally pretty good. And it does work. At least the SWD works because I'm using that, and the UART works, and the LEDs work. So
oh, that's great. That's gonna be really helpful for your debugging, and that just goes into a normal 40 pin Pi socket there.
Yeah. So this is just like if I take this off, it's just where on the IO board they have like the
pins,
the 40 pin header on there. And it should, I think the pinout is uniform across all the Pis. So I think in theory it should work for all of the different Pis that have that 40 pin header, which will be cool.
Nicely done. Very cool.
Yeah, so if folks want to know more, check out my deep dive on Friday. We're going to be talking more about Raspberry Pi stuff. So that'll be super cool, and maybe we'll get USB working. I don't know.
Good.
That'd be wild.
Good. Excellent. Good luck. Cool board. Thanks for bringing that by, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks
and
for
people
having
will
me.
see you Friday. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Who have we got coming up next? It is our favorite Liz, Blitz City DIY. You're our favorite Liz.
Okay. Thank you.
You're our main Liz. Are you our only Liz? I don't know.
I'm
What's
like
new?
one of 3 Liz's at work, so it's nice to be the one.
Okay.
Here.
Yes, you're singled out for the Adafruit community. You're the Liz.
Cool. So I've been doing kind of a disconnected IoT project, where I've got a FeatherRP2040 and an SCD40 CO2 sensor, because I want to monitor some CO2 levels without having to necessarily connect to the internet. Also, speaking of work, so I made so that it's logging the data to the Feather. So I'm going to share my screen. So then it logs to a text file, and then you can chart out that data like on Google Sheets really easily, and get that visualization. So I'm hoping to make this into like a kind of self-contained box, so I can like leave it places and check it over time.
Oh, that's great. And do you log onto an SD card on the microcontroller, or just to some EEPROM that's built on?
So this was just the internal file system on CircuitPython.
Yep.
That
right.
Yeah. But you could totally do that too.
Oh, that's really cool. And so you're going to be able to just take this, leave it somewhere, collect data, and move it around so that you have sort of a much simpler system than wireless and the internet and all of the things that can be a challenge with that, I'm guessing. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
And you said you're going to be just deploying this at work to do some testing there?
Yeah, just some COVID things have been lowered, and I'm curious on what the data actually looks like.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Very cool. And is that a project you might be writing up and sharing at some point once you've tested it out in the wild?
Possibly. Yeah. I'll definitely share the code no matter what. But
yeah.
Perhaps.
Terrific. Good. Yeah. Excellent. Well, thank you so much for bringing that on. Very nicely done. Talk to you soon.
Okay.
All right. Next up, we have Darian, who is coming on for his first time and giving me double thumbs up.
Yes, double thumbs up. Can you hear me okay?
I hear you. You sound great.
Fantastic. Very nervous, but very happy to be here. Very excited. So I've been working on the thing. I love the MagTag, but I don't love e-ink so much. I don't like the refresh of the e-ink, and I wanted something with an RTC attached. So I ended up taking that, making some modifications, and started with just a Metro kind of prototyping, but then ultimately designed like my own like circuit board, but with a sharp memory and pixel display, and with I moved it. I'll move it back here.
Sorry about that. Yeah.
Oh,
I love that display. Yeah.
I love it. Right. So yeah, it's still with an ESP32S2. So it should run Arduino and run CircuitPython. I just need to write a library for the RTC. But it's I'm excited about it. I've got some demo code. It's actually launching on Crowd Supply, so they accepted it.
Excellent.
So that's kind of cool. So hopefully I will finish the demos and ship some prototypes off, and it'll launch soon.
Oh, super. Can you share a URL yet, or a search term people can look for?
Yeah. I'll post it in the Discord.
Over in our Discord. That would be great.
And the board files already posted in GitHub. I'll point to those as well.
That looks great. I'm going to see if I can make that particular screen bigger. Let's see. Let's solo that. There we go. Now it's huge. Okay.
I've got a little bit of demo code where it will like set my alarm or a timer, or give me my weather. Maybe if I can push the button correctly.
And are these
Yes.
little capacitive touch buttons?
Yes,
or?
capacitive touch buttons.
Okay.
Yes, and in full transparency, I only did a capacitive touch because I was not confident in being able to solder on both sides of the of the board. So the front is
That's
capacitive
valid.
touch, and
That's
the
really
back
smart.
is got stuff all over it. So yeah, so the demo code works pretty great. It connects to the internet, pulls these things down. I've got some examples I'm working on with some integration to Home Assistant, some integration to Alexa. So we'll see.
I love it. It's a really clean design. I'm guessing you'll end up with some other look to it maybe at some point,
that's
or
the
are you
goal.
keeping that
We'll
minimalist
see.
thing? Because I love the minimalist black circles.
I like
awesome.
it. Well, I like minimalist, but it's open, right? It's open source.
Yeah,
to do what they want.
People do what they want. Yeah.
Exactly.
So. Beautifully done. Good. Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing more and checking out the link when you post that. Thank you so much, Darian. This is really cool. Nicely done. Yeah.
Thank
all
you
right.
for having me.
You bet. That was way cool. I dig that a lot. All right, let's see who we got up next. We have Tod.Bot right here is giving a thumbs up. So let's bring on. Hey Todd, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good. So I've been working with CircuitPython and MQTT lately, and so I wanted to show this little silly sketch that hopefully will focus. And this kind of shows how fast it is to get up. So that was basically getting up onto the Wi-Fi and connecting. And then there's 3 little bouncing John Park heads, and when they hit the edge, they emit an MQTT message, which I can show you. Let's see here, or not. Is this app working? So here, every time. Overexposed and out of focus. There we go. You can kind of see it. Ah, dang it. Well, anyway. So yeah, so this is showing that that it is actually emitting the MQTT messages. And the cool thing about this is that it's actually doing animation with display I/O as well as polling with doing the MQTT poll, which normally you can't do because it kind of blocks everything else. But you can pass in a timeout value to let it continue on. And that seems to be working. So that's basically it.
That's really impressive. So in sending out the MQTT message, you can have another device kind of pick up the ball and carry on with whatever that triggers, have it make a sound effect or light up a light or whatever.
Exactly, yeah. In this case, it's going to be triggering some servos and some lights and stuff when it hits the various things.
I want to get in on the fun. Just bounce my head.
I'll send you the URL.
It's hard to do in reverse on the camera. We'll stick with yours. That is really cool. And what is that groovy little board you have there that you're showing that on?
Yeah, this is a CircuitPython capable board called the LilyGo TT-Go ESP32 S2, I think. Yeah, it's pretty great. ESP32 on the back with 8 megs of RAM. It's actually also got an SD card slot there too, so you can plug in and save a bunch of data to SD card. Mm-hmm. That's one of the things I was using this for before, was playing images off of it, sort of like a little mini like photo frame sort of thing.
That's really cool. Yeah. Whoops! What did we do? There you are. Sorry about that. I yoinked you right out of there. I yeeted you, as the kids say. I don't really know what that means. But Michael was laughing, so maybe I said it right. So is this a project that is being developed as something you're going to be able to share in the future? Is it up on your GitHub if people want to learn more?
Yeah, it'll like all this stuff will probably be up on my GitHub in about a week or so. But,
great.
Yeah.
Good. All right, we'll have you back on to show us more servos and things. Very cool. Thanks, Todd. All right. Michael's giving me the Micah is giving me the thumbs up, so he's ready to go. Hello. Let me unmute you here.
Sorry about that.
I hear you now.
I've got something a little interesting. So you know those 7-inch official Raspberry Pi touchscreens? I
do.
Well, they're not HDMI, and if they were, I'd have it attached to my laptop right now. But instead, they're DSi, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So I did a little something, and it's very hacky, and it's very strange, and I love it.
Oh,
so
do tell.
I'm going to share my screen just to show you how this works.
All right.
1 second.
The anticipation is building.
I've got OBS Studio running on my computer. And these are my, and as you can see, I've also got this or no, not that. I've got this icon, which is called Fluffy Display. It's an wait, is it glitched on your screen?
I am seeing just a still image of OBS.
Oh, darn it. I'm going to stop and restart my share.
Okay. I see your cursor now. So
all right.
We'll bring that back.
Sorry about that.
No, no worries. This is how it goes. All right, here it comes. Okay.
Oh, no.
See your cursor. Yeah, you know, it's not wanting to show some layer of some of it, it looks like.
All right, wait, I have one more idea, and then I'll just explain it.
All right.
Can
you point the camera at your screen? That's always the analog loophole.
Yeah, I do have a webcam. But essentially this is just OBS Studio. It's an application designed for streamers to live stream to the internet. I'm kind of hacking it. I'm using it to capture a virtual display. I've got this outdated, unmaintained application from like 2019 called Fluffy Display. You can't see it because it's in my taskbar, but it is running in the background. And what it does is it creates a virtual screen on my Mac that doesn't really exist, but it lets me do a screen share from that virtual screen. And I can also move my mouse onto that virtual screen. So in OBS, it is capturing that virtual screen. So if I move my mouse down, you can see it vanished, but now it's in the virtual display that doesn't actually exist.
That's mind-blowing.
So here's the cool part. I figured out how to cast that to a Raspberry Pi. So if I just grab my keyboard, my Raspberry Pi is running on a separate keyboard, which is a little annoying because I didn't have time to set up barrier or whatever. But if I run VLC Media Player, and I start streaming from here, it doesn't appear to do anything. But if I start VLC, and I see it on my end, but it's happening. I'm going to switch my camera so you can see it. So if I go to stop screen share, I'm going to change my camera. So this is that virtual desktop. And if I move my mouse down, you can actually see it. There's a little bit of lag. But
I see you drawing a box.
This is wirelessly connected to my computer over Wi-Fi. So
that's wild. Yeah. Cool.
So that took a while. And I think I'm actually going to use this. It is laggy, but it took a little bit of tinkering, and I think it's pretty cool.
That's pretty cool. You've come up with yet a different way to share the display with your device.
I originally had it working on an Adafruit 1.4-inch 240 by 240 pixel TFT, but it was a little cramped, as you might imagine.
Well, that's really cool. Can you bring that by next time? We want to see it.
Which one? The
tiniest
TFT?
screen you've got. Yeah, do it.
The little one?
Yeah. Next time you come by, all right? I'm gonna go because we're gonna bring the next person on. But very cool,
sure
Micha. And thank you for sharing that. Take care. All right. Next up we have Michael. Are you ready, Michael? Because here we go. Hello.
Hi. How are you?
I'm well, thanks.
Yeah,
What's new?
This past week, I actually made this cool little accessory that has a BlackBerry keyboard on it, and if you can plug a CLUE into it. So it basically adds a keyboard onto the
cool.
CLUE, which is pretty awesome. Here, let me switch over to, here we go. So then, yeah, you can see I can like type stuff on it. Yeah, just a cool little thing. I have the magnets on it that I featured last week. So yeah, just a cool little thing. I got like super interested into the keyboard with my satellite phone project. It's still a work in progress, but yeah, so it's using this cool little thing, and it's all connected with the Adafruit Dragon Tail connector for CLUE.
I see. Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. So did you say this is a BlackBerry keyboard or something, an existing keyboard part from the phone?
Yeah, it's actually a real BlackBerry keyboard. It's using the, I think it's the TT-Go driver board. That's just connecting through I2C, which is pretty convenient. So, yeah.
Oh, that's really nice. So that's a little board that translates whatever tiny ribbon cable comes off the package of the little keyboard and then gives you some I2C to talk to the CLUE.
And it's compatible with the both Arduino and CircuitPython library that is made for the. There's another company, Solder Party, that makes a very similar driver board for the BlackBerry Q10, and you can use the same library with it too. So.
That's really cool. It's such you did a great job with the design. I love that you're able to use the edge connector to just plonk a board elegantly into this little Apple II looking keyboard box thing. Really cool.
I love designing stuff. So yeah, it's fun.
Really nicely done. And can you tell us a little bit about your design process? Are you iterating in like cardboard and then going into 3D and doing printing? Like what's that process like for you?
Yeah, so I use Tinkercad because it's super easy, and like I could be using something like Blender or Autodesk, but like you can get like 90% of the way there and like half the time with Tinkercad. And I just like basically have like two things side by side, and then like I can fit them together when I print it. I am making a video right now on how to make this, so anyone will be able to like make this. And so I'll
excellent. Send us a link when you do that.
I'll post that in the Discord once it's up.
Great, really nicely done, and thanks for sharing that. We'll see you next time. All right, and to play us out, we have Mark. Hey, Mark.
Hey. So a couple weeks ago, I was on showing just some schematics and a diagram of a board I was working on, my first microcontroller board, and it all arrived. And I can't show it on my close-up camera because I literally finished soldering this a minute before I showed up into the stream chat to start. So it won't be super clear on my webcam, especially with the reflections. But yeah, the first ever microcontroller board I made, that this is aimed to have Wi-Fi and to be able to be placed somewhere in your house to hook up a sensor. There is a StemmaQT port on it, which I hope works. And it was basically to take something like the Funhouse and the MagTag and remove the screen and add a couple visual elements to LEDs in the NeoPixel and a couple user buttons, so you could hook up a temperature sensor, a CO2 sensor, whatever you want, hook it up to Adafruit IO, and just have it work without a lot of other components to try to make it smaller.
That's great. So it's kind of a minimum viable Adafruit IO sensor connector.
That's what I was aiming for, and just for the practice of building a board, I actually got a chance to plug it in, and it showed up as a COM port.
Congrats,
so
that's exciting.
I'm actually hoping I can load software on it now, and maybe half the components on it work. That would be a good start. And then hopefully shrink it down for the future.
Excellent. And do you start with, will you start with like the Funhouse image as your starting point on the code for flashing it?
That's what I was looking at. I learned a lot from the Funhouse schematic and the MagTag one. The Funhouse is probably closest to this board, so start there. And next goal is to hopefully get CircuitPython running on it and see how it actually works.
That's excellent. Really cool. I love the idea. So bring that by when you get your next step in the process. We'll be excited to see it.
Yeah, thanks. As I said, I was just lucked in that the parts arrived yesterday, and I spent all the time after work today quickly assembling it.
That's great. Congratulations on getting it up and running that quick.
Thanks a lot.
All right, take care.
Thanks.
All right, well, that's going to do it, and our time is up, so stay tuned for Ask an Engineer, which is happening next. Goodbye, everyone. That was your show and tell.